Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game, doing Darkham Horror. We're going to be starting the study of life. Alright, a crackling fire nearby casts a warm light over the room as you sit at a table in the tavern the next day, discussing amongst yourselves about the dungeon. It seems an impossible task. You know from the letter that there are many, many floors to the dungeons, and yet you had trouble mapping out even one of them. However, as much as the expedition members avoid the subject, the conversation inevitably leads back to the horrifying abomination you escaped. Although you proved it was very possible to outrun, a permanent solution would be both much more practical and better for everybody's sanity. You shudder and retch when your mind briefly remembers the first time it shuffled into view. During your discussion, Leo, the tavern keep, walks up to your table unannounced. Couldn't help but overhear. One of the perks of being a tavern keep, I suppose. A group came through here not 2 days ago. Came here from the manor too, just like you. But they call themselves a research expedition, he grimaces. Leo tells you that they were headed for some ruins to the west. Given that they emerged from the manor unscathed, perhaps they might know something that could aid you in your task. All right. So, as part of the setup, we're going to be starting at the Overgrown Path, and we have a gibbering prophet out here with one doom on him, muttering and mumbling. Humanoid cultist lunatic elite has retaliate, 3 fight, 3 evade, and 6 health. Gets +1 fight for each doom on other enemies. At the end of the enemy phase, if Gibbering Prophet is aloof and ready, move Gibbering Prophet once towards the reading room. Then, if it is in the reading room, you flip it. Do not remove attachments or tokens. Victory 1 hits for 1 sanity. All right, shuffle the encounter deck. And then over here we have the purpose of life. Mastery over life and death was chief among my early pursuits. I began in humility, but my ambition was limitless. Who could have defined the prophetic import of something as remarkable as a twitch in the leg of a dead rat? When checking the doom threshold, ignore the doom on enemies. Do not remove doom from enemies when the agenda advances. 5 doom to advance. There are 3 agendas. Academic pursuits. Researchers in well-appointed clothes are spread throughout the ruins, studying piles of books and relics. Though they mostly ignore you, they seem friendly enough. If you can find their leader, perhaps you could help each other out. Each cultist enemy loses hunter and gains aloof. Explore the ruins. Find another objective. Blah blah blah. All right. Skulls are -X, where X is the amount of doom on enemies. Maxes out at 3. Thank you for capping it at 3. Cultist, reveal another token. If you fail, you place a doom on the nearest cultist enemy. And then tablet is -2. If you succeed, you may move a non-elite enemy from its location to a location connected to it. Alright, let me put a break here. Alright, unfortunately I did have to restart because I messed up the rules for aloof. I'm so used to just running up to a cultist and punching them, but all of them are aloof, and that makes things a lot more complicated here. So, here we go again. Drawing. Okay, starting with stand together right off the bat is good. The rest of this I don't care about. Okay, 2 stand togethers. I can play with that. Alright, and then over here. Deal to orange. Alright, that's a weakness. Okay, sleight of hand right off the bat. We'll go ahead and tag out the deduction. Okay, that's a good start. I can live with that. Okay, definitely not a bad start at all. I'm going to go ahead and read this again because I have to. Overgrown Path. A path leads from the road to the ruins of a small mansion. It is wild with weeds, but it has been disturbed recently. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. 2 shrouds, 0 clues. Action resigned. This was a waste of time. They're not going to say anything. Excavations beneath the manor were well underway when a particularly ragged indigent arrived in the hamlet. This filthy, toothless miscreant boasted an uncanny knowledge of my ambitions and prognosticated publicly that, left unchecked, I would soon unleash doom upon the world. Alright, I'm going to start with Moko. Spend an action doing stand together. Gain 2 resources. Draw 2 cards. Gain 2 resources. Draw 2 cards. Oh, there's your maimed hand. I'll probably do this real quick for the future. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why. Scale down one more time. There we go. And then I can lock it and then switch this to 6. Okay. That was her first action. Second action, I'm going to play the other stand together. Really strong start. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spend last action to move up. Or I can get my gun out. Let's go ahead and spend 3 to get the gun out. Okay. And then for Audrey, let's spend 2 to go ahead and get out the research librarian. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Necronomicon. I didn't talk about this last time, so I will talk about this time. Item Tome takes up a hand slot. It's the Petrus Dacia translation. 5 experience, 3 resources. Commits for 5 books, but if you're committing for 5 books, you probably did something very wrong. Has uses 6 secrets, limit 1 per deck, and then you can Lightning Bolt do a variety of actions. Spending 1 secret could give you +2 to a skill test. 2 secrets lets you draw 2 cards. 3 secrets gets you a clue from any location. And then the last one is 4 secrets that will deal 3 damage to an enemy engaged with you. So this is the main reason why I have this, is just so I can punch people with it. What's really great about this thing is you can slide a hand out it out because it's an item, and then use all of its secrets and put it back in your hand, which is why we probably haven't seen too many combinations of Seeker and Rogue. All right, or rather Seekers with Rogue Splash. All right, so that's my first action. Second action is to go ahead and move. Entry hall. The front door of the ruined mansion is left unlocked. Someone is inside. Forced. When an enemy attempts to spawn at an empty location and there are no empty locations in play, spawn the enemy here instead. Lightning Bolt investigators in the entry hall spend 6 clues as a group to put the set-aside basement hallway location to play. So we need 6 clues to reveal whatever we need to reveal. I'm going to go ahead and spend... how do I want to do this? I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 to get out Shadow Lace. And use that ability to gain 2 resources back. And that should make us okay for now. Enemy phase, this guy's going to mosey on over here. He's aloof still. Upkeep. Upkeep. Okay. Mythos. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this one more time. And First Doom. Setting Sun. You must decide, choose 2, and you can choose the same option more than once. Each investigator can take the damage, each investigator can take a horror, or each investigator can discard an asset they control. We'll have each of them take a horror, and take another horror. Actually, a horror and a damage. And we'll have the research library and soak the damage. Inscrutable Writings. Test Book 2 gets +1 difficulty for each doom on enemies. If you fail, you must either place 2 clues on your location or take 1 damage, 1 horror. So it's 4 to 3 right now. I'll go ahead and do a practice makes perfect. Search top 9. Well, for better, well, actually, I can do this one. I can do 3 aces. All right, we'll put 3 ace. So we're going to be 5 to 3. Please don't autofail. Thank you. So this will go in our hand. We don't get hurt. And we go to the investigation phase. All right. So it has to be engaged with you. Yeah, it has to be engaged with you. I think we'll let this guy go for a bit. I think that's the plan. Yeah, I think that might be the plan. So let's do a setup round. I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out Pete Sylvester, which I forgot to reset your stats earlier. And then I'm going to move twice. Reading room, you can see the occasional member of the other expedition walking in and out of this room carrying stacks of books. 4 clues, 3 shroud. Action, if there's a cultist enemy in the parlor, test Fist 2 to intimidate them. If you succeed, discover 1 clue from the reading room. If you succeed and there are no clues on the reading room, remember that the investigators learned the expedition's mission. Alright, so not only do we need the clues for the entry hall, but if we can clear all the clues and beat up a cultist, we can get some additional information. Alright, Audrey. I'm going to go ahead and fast out this segment of Onyx and then use her ability to get 2 resources back. I'm then going to move on over. And I think for now, I think we're okay. I think, yeah, Moko will be fine dealing with the Prophet on her own. So I think I'm going to go ahead and spend the 3 to get out the Grim Memoir. I'm going to investigate using Grim Memoir and commit a deduction. So this is going to make us 7 to 3. It's only -1 right now because we only have 1 Doom in play. So we get 2 clues. And we get a card. Okay. Enemy phase. This guy's going to move on over and then flip. And his stats are pretty much the same. He's now the wild and prognosticating, and he's just going to try to make his way to the parlor. So this is essentially a way to make him patrol back and forth. All right, upkeep. 11 learn, upkeep. Okay, we have our 3 aces. That's good. Mythos, 2nd Doom. Remember that Doom on enemies don't count. I am marked. That's not a big deal. Obscuring Fog. That's slightly a deal. Okie dokie. So I'll start with Audrey. I will spend 1 to fast out the segment of Onyx, then use the ability to get 2 resources back. And then I'm going to investigate using Grim Memoir. We are currently 6 to 5, and that's all I'm going to really be able to do right now. 6 to 5. I fail. 6 to 5. God damn it. 6 to 5. Give me something. Alright, that's +1, so I do pass and get to draw a card at least. I get 1 clue here, draw a card. Well, so much for that. Okay, I'm going to go Moko then. Moko is going to beat up a cultist, 5 to 3, or 5 to 2, sorry. Oh, fuck off. 5 to 2. Got it. I am going to go ahead and engage the Gibbering Prophet, so he stays in place. Because he's going to end up not being, he won't be ready, so he won't patrol back and forth. All right, well then, that went super bad. That was a lot of lost tempo. All right, enemy phase, I'm going to get hit with 1 horror, which is fine. Upkeep. And Mythos. 3rd Doom. This guy is going to go here, and because I have stuff in my threat area, he's going to engage me. This one will stay aloof and then get, well, it's going to be aloof on her and then get engaged to this person. Okay. Good times. All right. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and have Audrey go first. I'm going to go ahead and engage the Gibbering Prophet. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 to fast out a Sleight of Hand and throw out the Necronomicon. As a Lightning Bolt, I'm going to spend 4 to do 3 damage to him. And then I'm going to do Knowledge's Power. Fast, play only during your turn. Choose a tome or spell asset you control, or reveal a tome and asset from your hand. Resolve a action or lightning bolt ability, ignoring all costs, including the action cost, if any. Then, if the asset was in your hand, you can discard it to draw a card, and Power Corrupts. I'm going to pick the spend 4 secrets and do 3 more damage to this guy and kill him. So that's the power of the Necronomicon. Didn't I play it? Yeah, it's over here. Put an ice. Yeah, and this is going to return to my hand at the end of the round. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the Necronomicon to draw 2 cards with the last 2 secrets, 1 and 2. And then I'm going to spend 3 to get out Pathfinder, and then use that to move. Like so. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry, I need to go back. I actually forgot to do an action. So, what I needed to do before... Actually, I can still do it. Never mind. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine and good. Never mind. We're good. I forgot these guys are cultists, so we're good. I thought I just screwed up again. All right, so Pathfinder stays. That's fine. We're good to go. Okay. All right. I'm all over the place. I shouldn't be recording this right now. Okay. So this guy's going to end up punching me for 1. All right. I'm going to go ahead and shoot one of these guys. We'll go 7 to 3. Okay. I can choose to take a horror to take a damage to heal a horror. I'll go ahead and do that for now. And that'll kill this guy off. Next, I'm going to go ahead and provoke an attack to do the 5 to 2 test. This time we succeeded. Also, I should have done live and learn. I'm an idiot, but that's okay. Last action, I'm going to go ahead and shoot this guy. 7 to 3. Okay, dead. Okay, not too shabby. We'll go ahead and go to enemy phase upkeep. I do need to discard a card, unfortunately. Oh, also I should have healed a horror. Honestly, we can get rid of the Chair's Keepsake for now. Oh, also this Necronomicon should have gone back into my hand at the end of at the end of her turn. Upkeep. Oh, good. Mythos, 4th Doom. All right, Mysterious Chanting. There are actually no cultists in play, so we get to spawn a cultist. We can spawn you with a Doom on ya. All right. And then over here. Inscrutable Writings is going to be 4 to 3 again. I'll just go. I'll just do the 4 to 3. Actually, I'll do 2 quick thinkings. We'll go 6 to 3. And if I get a -2, I'll be angry. Okay, -1. We're good. 5 to 3. So I get 2 more actions. And I have to take them immediately, so I'll do them now. I'm going to go ahead and... has to be during your turn, unfortunately. As if it were your turn, but unfortunately I have to take the action, so I'm going to move over. You can hear the light sounds of conversation and laughter coming from this room. If there's a cultist enemy in the parlor, you can test foot 2 to eavesdrop on them. If you succeed, discover one clue from the parlor. If you succeeded and there are no clues, you can learn about the rumors surrounding the manor. All right, so that was first action. Second action, I'm going to go ahead and go 4 to 2 here. I can just eavesdrop, sure. Actually, no. Sorry, for the other action, I'm going to go ahead and do an easy mark. Gain 2 resources, draw a card. And then play this other easy mark for free. 2 resources, draw a card. Cool. That was all in the Mythos phase. Go to investigation. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out the Derringer. And I'm going to move once to here. And I'm just going to gain a resource for my last action, because I don't want to be punched again. All right. Oh, actually, this is my threat area, so I actually get engaged by you. Sorry about that. Which means I actually need to deal with this. So instead of doing easy mark, I'm going to go ahead and just evade him 4 to 2. Okay, I pass. And then for the first, I'm going to have to start with her going first. And I'm going to go ahead and just investigate. I'll commit a perception, 6 to 3. Good to go. Get a clue, clue and a card, and then investigate one more time, committing this deduction. Good to go. I get 2 clues. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I had to have Audrey go first because I did get engaged. In any case, instead of gaining a resource over here, I'm just going to go ahead and move over here for the last action because it got evaded. Alright, sorry about going out of order like that. Enemy phase, he is exhausted. Upkeep, I will have this guy engage you. Upkeep. Alright. Mythos is going to advance. A bell tolls. As you explore the ruins, a bell rings out, resounding through the corridors. The usual conversation permeating the ruins dies away and is replaced with a soft chanting. When you try to listen to the words, they somehow refuse to stick in your mind, turning to gibberish as you turn it over your head. Put a doom on each cultist. There you go. Alright. And then we get an Acolyte, which we'll put over here. And I have to remember these guys are aloof as well. And a Collected, which is going to be on us with a doom. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start with Boko. Actually, no. Do I want to start with Boko? I have to start with Audrey. I'm going to try to evade 4 to 2. We succeed. All right. That's our first action. I'll try to investigate with plan of action. We'll go 5 to 2. We're gonna actually eavesdrop. We do pass and we draw a card because that was our second action. We grab this clue. And then last action, I'm gonna go ahead and do the foot check to eavesdrop now that there's no clues. I'm gonna commit 3 aces, which will auto succeed and give me 3 resources and draw 3 cards. I get this now, and I'll go ahead and fast out this segment of Onyx and use my ability to get 2 resources. And get out the Pendant of the Queen. Alright. And at this point, I am going to go ahead and use Pendant of the Queen just to move over to here. Okay. And then I'll spend the 6 clues. to reveal the basement. Oh, actually, I didn't need to use Pin of the Queen. I could have done Pathfinder. My apologies. Actually, better yet, I will move here with Pin of the Queen and then use Pathfinder to move up there. Look at that. Basement hallway, stairs to a basement were hidden behind a false wall. What sorts of secrets must lie in the basement? You tell me. Alright, this location is 5 shroud, 2 clues. Lightning bolt investigators in the basement hallway spin 2 clues as a group. Put the set-aside dome chamber location into play. This raving creature had to be silenced, but doing so proved magically impossible. How had he survived the stockades, the icy water, and the knives I delivered so enthusiastically into his back? Okay, so that is it for Audrey. I'm going to go ahead and go with Moko. Moko is going to shoot this person. We'll go 7 to 3. Okay, kills it. Then I'm going to engage the other one, who's currently still exhausted. And I'm just going to attack with a long shot. Alright, I'll go live and learn and vicious blow for the next skill check. Yeah, attempt the test again. Let me check something on that. Yep, the skill card is lost. So I'm going to go ahead and commit the vicious blow. This is me doing a regular attack, by the way, not the Derringer. Alright, that will kill it. Okay. Sorry about that. Investigation phase, or... Sorry, yeah, that was investigation phase. Go to enemies. Enemies aren't going to do anything. Upkeep. Mythos. First Doom. Oh yeah, I didn't even read this part. The meaning of life. I entertain a delegation of experts from overseas, eager to plumb the depths of their knowledge and share with them certain techniques and alchemical processes I had found to yield wondrous and terrifying results. Having learned all I could from my visiting guests, I murdered them as they slept. Same thing as before. They doom on enemies do not apply. Dark Unknown goes in your threat area. You cannot discover more than 1 clue each round and cannot move more than once each round. As an action, you can, for each doom on the enemies, you can take a damage and then discard it. This can get really, really high in this particular scenario. Day grows dim. Alright. Place a doom, or I have to do a willpower 4, and if I fail, it not only places a doom, but it does all sorts of other nasty stuffs to us. I'm just going to place the doom, because I can't afford to fail. Alright. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and move on over here. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. Get my self-destructive, and then I'm going to draw another card. And get my accursed follower. Just one thing after the other. Alright. Well, good news is I've gone through all of our weaknesses. Bad news is I need to get rid of all this nonsense. Okay. I'll have to deal with the follower first before I do anything else. I am going to go ahead and get rid of Psychosis for Audrey here. I am going to go ahead and use Pin of the Queen to grab a clue from here. And then use those 2 clues to put in the dome chamber. A grand central chamber lies ahead of you. Walls of dark stone are dotted with sconces whose light only barely illuminates the room. I'll Pathfind move to here. Lightning Bolt, investigators in the dome chamber can spend 2 clues as a group to randomly put a set-aside unexplored location into play. Finally, resigned to his uncommon corporeal resilience, I lured him to the dig. How had he returned time and time again to rouse the townsfolk with his wild speculations and prophecies? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spend 3. Do I want to spend 3? Our deductions have all been used, right? Deductions have been used. Are my perceptions both used? Not both. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 and do Practice Makes Perfect. Search the entire deck. This is my last action, so I'll pick Perception for this Investigate. And I'm going to be 6 to 1. Good to go. Draw a card. And get a clue. Alright. Enemies will get 1 curse token because of a cursed follower. Upkeep. Upkeep. And Mythos. 3rd Doom. Another Acolyte. We'll put him over here with a Doom. And a locked door, which is unfortunately going to go here. Alright, investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Audrey. I'm going to go ahead and get that last clue. Shuffle. And then use those 2 clues to get out a random unexplored room. We'll put it over here for now. And then I'm going to Pathfind move to it. Chapel. After you reveal the chapel, immediately advance to Act 1B. As a reaction after you reveal a skull or auto-fail during a skill test in the chapel, remove all doom from a cultist enemy in play. Group limit once per game. Okay, so we go to Act 1B. Nashwa Hassan. The chapel is fragrant from burning incense and dimly lit by lanterns hanging from the low ceiling. On the opposite side, standing by the altar, you find a figure dressed with perhaps more clothing than you think necessary for the climate. She is covered from head to toe in a variety of colorful scarves and shawls and speaks in an unknown accent with the other researchers, who wander in and out of the chapel seemingly to consult her. Put the set-aside Nashwa Hassan, expedition leader, into the chapel. Asset Sorcerer. If the investigators learn the expedition's mission and learn about the rumors surrounding the manor, investigators at Nashwa Hassan's location can spend 4 clues as a group to parlay and advance to Act 2B. So over here, this person, despite standing by the altar, does not appear to be a religious leader, but an administrative one. If you can get some of her time and make introductions, perhaps you could discuss some mutual cooperation. Each cultist enemy loses Hunter and gains Aloof still, and then we have to just find out what she knows. Alright, I still have actions remaining, so I'm going to do them. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to go ahead and get out the Lucky Cigarette Case. I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to go ahead and get out a Grim Memoir, and then I'm going to investigate using Grim Memoir. So I'm now 6 to 3. I pass by a bunch. I will grab 1 clue, draw a card, and then draw another card for Lucky Cigarette Case. This is going to be placed there. Alright, so I got that going for us. I could definitely make a lot of things happen with this Necronomicon, but I'm going to hold on to it because we're going to need it. Alright, meanwhile, over here, this self-destructive is going to be a problem. But first things first, I'm going to go ahead and move and engage this, and then shoot it. 7 to 2. We succeed. I am going to take 1 damage because of self-destructive, but now this guy's gone. Alright. Enemies aren't going to do anything. Upkeep. Upkeep. That resource I just got should go to this thing. Mythos, 4th Doom. Another marked. Setting Sun, you must decide twice, do the things. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'll take a horror. And I'll take it. If I take a damage, it's going to kill her. You know what? I will take a damage. So it's going to do damage here. It's going to kill her 1 time. And put 1 of each of these cards into the deck. Okay. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 actions to get rid of self-destructive. And then I'm going to spend 1 action moving, I guess. Alright. Over here, I am going to go ahead and fast out a Segment of Onyx, which is going to use my ability to put resources on this card. I'm then going to go ahead and investigate using Grim Memoir. 6 to 3. We pass. Draw 2 cards. And get a clue. I'm going to go ahead and investigate again. 6 to 3. I succeed. I get another thing. And I get a clue. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just do it 1 more time. That is actually a fail. I'm just going to put a Doom on Occultist. Yeah, that was -4, so I actually fail it. So Doom goes on this guy. Alright, I am going to go ahead and spend 1 to fast out a Segment of Onyx. And we'll be soon ready for the party here. Alright, enemy phase, nothing going on there. Upkeep. At this point, I'm going to get rid of the Take Heart. And I'm going to take 1 horror here. Mythos is going to advance. Put 1 Doom on each cultist in play for no one. The bell rings out again, and in much the same fashion, the members of the other expedition fall into silence, chanting mysterious words, and then return to their activities as if nothing had happened. You tried to question some of them about it, but some try everything in their power to evade your questioning, and others deny anything strange happening at all. Place 1 Doom on each cultist in play. All right. So, Cycle of Life, I brought my colleagues back with much of their intellect intact, a remarkable triumph for even the most experienced necromancer. Freed from the trappings of their humanity, they plied their terrible trade anew, the dead reviving the dead, and on down the years forever. If we have 3 or 4 investigators, it gets more Doom threshold, but otherwise it's just 8. And again, you ignore Doom on enemies. Alright. So, Mythos. Oh, also, did it put another cultist? Yeah, I put another Doom in play. For these 2. Alright, Wizard of the Order is going to come down here. He's eventually going to get a Doom. Rumors and Whispers. If there are no cultists in play, Whispers gain Surge. Otherwise, place 1 Doom on the farthest cultist in play and test Willpower 2. If you fail, it attacks you once for each Doom on it. That's painful. I guess I will put... I'll put a Doom on you, I guess, and then pray that I can do this. I can go... I'm going to go Plan of Action, and I'm going to commit the Practice Makes Perfect. So this is going to make us 5 to 2. Okay, we pass. That's why I did it, because that's going to be -3. All right. Investigation. Oh, also, that resource I gained should have gone on this. Okay. I'm going to start with Moko. I'm going to go ahead and engage this cultist. And then punch him. We're going to go 5-1. Or 5-3, sorry. Yeah, 5-3 is fine. I pass. He's dead. I'm going to go ahead and move down 1 to go say, get ready for this guy. All right. I know I need to deal with Nashua, but I think I'm going to wait on that. Let's go ahead and fast out this thing, use my ability. We're just going to put 2 clues on this, or 2 resources on this. This will get us a Pinja Queen back. I'm going to go ahead and do easy mark. Is that enough? Yep. I'm going to go ahead and do easy mark, which is going to get 2 resources in this and clear it. Because that's 8 in total. And I get to draw a card. And then do it again. Draw a card. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to go ahead and do Research Librarian, search the entire deck. I'm going to grab the Grim Memoir. And then last action, I'm going to spend 3 to get out the Grim Memoir. Alright. Enemies aren't going to do anything. Upkeep. Okay, finally got our cleaver. At this point, let's get rid of the resourceful. First doom. Any empty location. It's going to go up there and get a doom. And go 4-4. I'm just going to take the doom. All right, cutting in close. Also, Pete should have healed a while ago. He's going to get another doom here, by the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out my meat cleaver. I'm going to engage and then fight and take a horror on myself. This will bring us to 6-4. I'll do live and learn. I do get retaliated for 1. And I think I do still need to take a horror, so I'll put that horror on this. Okay, I do kill with this, so I'll heal a horror. And this guy goes away. Okay. That gets us a little bit of progress. Not a lot, but some. I'm going to go ahead and investigate this location with a Grim Memoir. Okay, apparently it double-clicked. I don't know what token it pulled out, so I'm not going to worry about it. So 3-3. I don't get I get a clue, but no card draw. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and spin the 4 clues to parlay so we can get this started. I mean, what are we looking like here? The collected are all in here. The cultists are out here. Yeah, either way, we're going to end up spawning more. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spin the 4 clues. Advance to Act 2B. It must be done. She turns out to be quite open to conversation and introduces herself. I hail from a desert far east of here, where I used to provide alchemical services. In recent years, my research has led me to this area. You see there are rumors of certain techniques and alchemical processes originating in this area that are said to yield wondrous results. That is why we are exploring the manor to discover whether or not these rumors are substantial. You explain your situation, that you are also exploring the manor and would love to exchange notes on how best to deal with the dangers therein. However, when you mention why you are here, her smile vanishes. She starts muttering to herself, and before you are able to interrupt, she rises to her feet. I apologize. It must be done. With one short incantation, she fades away and vanishes. Remove her from the game, and then spawn the Necromancer and Bone Legion, and put 6 damage on the Bone Legion. Each cultist enemy no longer gains a loot. So you go away. Just making sure I did all this right. Empty locations? Yep. Alright. Necromancer and Bone Legion spawns over at the entry hall. So that's the good news. And they don't have Hunter, so there's that, I guess. Alright, Necromancer, 3 fight, 2 evade, 4 health. While the Bone Legion is in play, you can't hurt, damage, defeat, or parlay with the Necromancer. Parlay action, willpower, intelligence 5. Willpower plus intelligence 5 to placate her. This test gets +1 difficulty for each doom on enemies. If you succeed, an investigator in the Necromancer's location places one of their clues on her. Victory 1, hits for 2 horror. Bone Legion, massive, monster elite, 1 fight, 3 evade, 12 health. Gets +1 fight for each doom on enemies, which right now there are 3. Bone Legion gets +2 evade based off the investigators, and then after a cultist is defeated, you heal 2 damage on Bone Legion, hits for 2 damage. So yeah, I usually end up killing all the cultists anyway because it's just easier to do. Alright, this is still investigation phase. Let's go ahead and get moving. Over here we have Dead Clever. You hear a commotion in the rest of the ruins and run out of the chapel to look, only to be accosted by the researchers who used to be so friendly. Whatever Nashua did must have raised the alarm, and you are the intruders they are hunting. Each cultist enemy gains Hunter. If the Necromancer is defeated in advance, if there are 2 clues on the Necromancer, you can place her in the victory display and advance. Okay. Also, Pete should have healed. Alright. I still have actions, so I'm going to go ahead and Pathfind move over to here. And, yeah, these guys are just going to mosey on forward, unfortunately, which there's not much I can do about that. This guy's going to end up healing a bunch, and there's not much I can do about it. But that's fine. All I really need to do is get the clues I'm still missing and just go to town. So that's what I'm going to do. So, what is it, 6-4 here? Yeah. I'll go ahead and use the Pendant of the Queen to grab a clue from this location. And then I'm going to I can go 4-4. Yeah, I'll just go 4-4. I fail. Too bad I didn't commit. Alright. Enemy phase. This guy's going to come and say hi and hit me for 1 horror. This guy's going to move over. These guys are not cultists, so I don't need to worry about them. Upkeep. And upkeep. And Mythos. Third doom of 8. Any empty location, you go over here and get a doom. Locked door. Goes on this guy. Okay. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Audrey. I'm going to go ahead and spend a Pendant of the Queen charge to grab a clue from here and use them to reveal one of the missing locations. Spend a clue. Investigators in the laboratory can gain a total of 4 resources or draw 4 cards or any combination. Limit once per game per investigator. 1 victory, 4 shroud, 2 clues. Alright, so I'm going to Pathfind move up here. And then I'm going to investigate here using Grim Memoir and a deduction. I'll get a 7. I'll go ahead and do perception as well. 6. So it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 to 4. All right, that's -3, so 6 to 4. Let's just make sure I did that right. Yeah, 6 to 4, so I do pass. I get both clues here. I get to draw 2 cards, 1 and 2, and then use Lucky Cigarette Case to draw another card. And then I'm going to move, and then spend 2 more clues to get this last location in play. Like so. I still have 1 action remaining, which I'm going to go ahead and use just to move. All right, you can add your willpower to this skill test while investigating the study. 6 shroud, 4 clues. There I showed him the thing and detailed the full extent of my plans triumphantly. I watched as he tore his eyes out from their sockets and ran shrieking into the shadows, wailing maniacally that the end was upon us all. Indeed. All right. I'm going to go ahead and punch a cult researcher. I will take a sanity with the cleaver and go 6 to 2. I do kill, and you may move a non-elite enemy from its location to a connecting location. So I'm going to go ahead and move him up to me. Kill this, get a sanity back. He's going to heal for 2. Alright, then I'm going to attack this guy. 6 to whatever. Okay, that's -3. I kill it. This guy's going to heal 2. And that's going to be probably it for right now. Last action, I will just gain a resource, because I don't have anything better to do. Alright, enemy phase. This guy's going to move on over. Upkeep. Upkeep. Alright, Psychosis. Mythos. 4th Doom. We're cutting it close here. Another Dark Unknown, that's fine. And Mysterious Chanting has to be closest guy. It's going to be this guy. Alright. Alright, Audrey's turn. Also, this Pete should have healed. Okay. Audrey, I need you to clear out this stuff. So let's go ahead and investigate using Grim Memoir. This is going to bring us to 6, 7, 8 to 6. We'll commit this. Oh no, we're not going to commit that. Actually, let's not go first. Instead, let's have Moko go first. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is at the start of Moko's turn, I'm going to use Pin of the Queen to auto-evade the Bone Legion. These are going to get shuffled back in. And then Moko is going to move on up and get engaged by this and this. I'm then going to attack the Cult Researcher. I will take a Sanity and attack. Okay, killed it. He's now... Bone Legion is fully healed again, which is unfortunate. Alright, next I do heal a Sanity, and then I'm going to get to work here. I'm going to go ahead and attack the Bone Legion. I'm currently 6 to 1. I will take a Sanity. I'll put it on Pete Sylvester. I'm going to commit a long shot and a resourceful. So right now we are 6, 7 to 1. Alright, we do 3 damage. And I get to search my deck for a survivor card that I can use. I am going to go ahead and take the other long shot, put it back in my hand, and go from there. Alright, now I'll go with Audrey. Audrey is going to I'm going to go ahead and use Grim Memoir and Investigate. We'll go 8 to 6. We pass by 1, get 1 clue. I'll investigate again, 8 to 6. Pass by 1. And then I'm going to spend 1 to sleight of hand the Necronomicon out. And I'm going to spend all 6 of its secrets to grab all the clues off it, the remaining 2. Like so. And then I'm going to Pathfind move this way. And then at the end of our turn, this will go back in my hand. Enemy phase, this guy's exhausted. This guy's going to hit for 2. Also, Pete should have healed for 1. So I'll put 1 on Pete and then 1 on Moko. Upkeep, this guy will unexhaust. Mythos, we're 5 of 8. Any empty location. We'll put you all the way up here. Crypt Chill. I'll go 2 to 4. I still fail. At this point, I will go ahead and get rid of the Lucky Cigarette case. Okay. Here goes nothing. I'm going to start with Audrey. It's either I start with Audrey or I start with the Bone Legion, or start with Moko. I mean, that's an obvious statement, but I think I'll start with Moko. So currently this guy has 2 fight. I'm going to attack with Meat Cleaver. I'll take a sanity, and we'll commit a long shot. Good to go. I will take a damage to heal 1 horror, and that'll do 3 damage. I'll go ahead and attack again. I will take a sanity and commit a stunning blow. 7 to 1. Okay. I'm not going to take the damage this time around. Alright, this is going to do 2 damage and then evade it. I'll attack 1 more time, going 6 to 2. And that's a pass. I'll do 1 damage. So it's down to 3 health left. I'm going to go ahead and Pathfind move with Audrey. Oh, also I should heal a sanity here. I'm then going to move normally. And then I'm going to do Acknowledge's power. Reveal the Necronomicon and do 3 damage to this thing and kill it. Alright. So right now I am 6 to 6 if I do the parlay check. I can go 8 to 6. So I'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll commit a plane of action. This will go 8 to 6. Alright, I passed just barely. And if you succeed, you can place one of their clues on her. I'll have Moko place a clue. There you go. And that is all my actions. Goes to enemy phase. This thing's going to move on over. This thing's going to hit for 2. 2 horror again. I'll put 1 on you and 1 on you. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. 6 of 8. Crypt Chill. 3 to 4. I fail. I get rid of Derringer. Over here. Okay. There's a cultist. I will have to put a Doom on him. And then do a check. I am 2 to 2 right now. And if I fail, he's going to hit me twice and do a lot of damage to me. I do have Moko here with me. So Moko is going to go ahead and commit a Meat Cleaver for 1. I'll commit a Quick Thinking, so I'm at least 4 to 2. I pass by 1. And then I will go, yeah, because if I had gotten hit by that, I would have taken 2 horror and 2 damage thanks to the psychosis. All right. I'll go ahead and start with Audrey. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to spend 1 to sleight of hand out this Necronomicon. And I'm going to spend 2 secrets to draw 2 cards. And then I'm going to parlay, and I'm committing 3 aces to auto-succeed. And that'll put a clue on this guy, and that should be it. Alright. If there are 2 clues on it, place it on the victory display in advance. Nashwa's Fate. If the necromancer has 2 clues on her, stop! Everyone, stop fighting! I'm sorry. This has all been a terrible mistake. Yuwen says she begins to incant another spell, but the skeletons around start collapsing back into piles of bones, and the activity in the rest of the ruins fades away. So, Resolution 2. Resolution 2. Nashua leads you back to the chapel to talk further privately. I can only apologize for misleading you, but the story I gave you is incomplete. You see, I am not truly one of the living. Before my untimely death, I was indeed an alchemist, quite well renowned too, I might add. One day I received a mysterious invitation to the manor here, along with others I knew as my colleagues. Some dismissed it as an irrelevant trifle, but a number of us were intrigued that someone from so far away would be able to contact us, let alone know of our work. Together, some colleagues and I made inquiries, but we never got anywhere. So a handful of us did what anybody with a scientific curiosity would do, and packed bags to make good the invitation. When we arrived, your ancestor welcomed us to his manor as his guest, Nashua continues. And so we spent many months sharing techniques and alchemical processes. We all learned so much from one another. However, towards the end of our visit, his demeanor changed. His expression grew darker with each passing day until one day I was startled awake by his knife plunging into my chest. Nashua leans in a little closer. It was many years later that my consciousness started returning. In time, I somehow gained enough faculties to know that he had reanimated my corpse, though how I was able to form thoughts was, and still is, a mystery to me. Interestingly, my memories post-death remained. Memories of being commanded to carry out twisted experiments on a horrifyingly large number of subjects, including my former colleagues. As the experiments continue, the results became more and more consistent, and eventually I was, for lack of a better term, a corpse reanimating other corpses. She turns away and pauses briefly. In any case, after I regained some modicum of control over my thoughts and actions, I plotted to escape. Unbeknownst to your ancestor, that was many years ago. I do not know what happened to my colleagues. However, since my escape, I have been studying the effects of necromancy on the consciousness in order to try and understand my condition better. There are many secrets hidden in the manor, and I have been organizing semi-regular expeditions into the dungeons beneath in the hopes of discovering the basis of the necromantic magic your ancestor used to raise me. From your reaction, it does not seem like you are here to capture me or to delve further into these horrifying arts. Perhaps if we work together with my knowledge and your resources, we can achieve more than either of us alone. We now note that we have Nashua as an expedition member. Right. Any one investigator may add Nashua Scholar of Life and Death to their deck. This card does not count towards that investigator's deck size. Alright, Nashua Hassan gives you +1 willpower, +1 book, has 1 health to sanity. After you reveal a skull symbol during a skill test, exhaust Nashua Hassan to heal 1 damage. She searches where others will not go, and see what others will not see. Yay, Antiquarian. And then also, we're going to be getting the Alak Shira, which we can add to the deck, and it does not count. It's a ritual. 0 cost. When a non-elite enemy spawns at your location, you can attach it face down to this, and then spawn that enemy at your location if it leaves play. If it has an enemy attached to it, you can reveal a random chaos token from the back at the end of the round. And if it's a skull, you have to return it to your hand. It also takes up an arcane slot. I am going to put both of these with Audrey. Alright, besides that, we go ahead and get Victory X, but we don't spend it yet. Currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 experience, and 6 for Audrey because of Karen's Obel. Alright, we do have a resupply point, so we need to note that. Each investigator may choose to visit one of the following buildings. Buildings can be visited by any number of investigators. So a number of these are kind of interesting. Upgrading weapon, you can reduce the cost of upgrading tools, armors, and weapons by 3 for 2 items, which is better than the 5 experience you can get from the guild hall. So yeah, guild hall you can get 5 experience. Surgery is remove just a trauma of your choice. Campsite is you will have 4 additional supply points. Smithy is what I mentioned. You can upgrade armor, 2 different armor tool weapons you can reduce that price by 3. So if you have 2 items that can be done, it will give you essentially 6 XP worth of stuff. Wagon, same thing, but for charms, relics, and spells. Sanitarium, you can take a physical trauma to remove a madness. The Abbey is you suffer 1 mental trauma, and you can get rid of a curse, omen, or pact weakness. Now, do note that you have to have always 1 basic weakness in your deck. Tavern is record a tally mark next to tavern visits in your campaign log, and the investigator removes a basic flaw, humanoid, or monster weakness from their deck. So yeah, if you tavern visits will make you lose supply points, which isn't the end of the world. So I mean, getting 5 experience is really, really good. Like, there's no question about that. But if I can get rid of self-destructive, that would help out a lot. Because that is essentially a double action tax. But at the same time, I think I need the experience more. Because the experience essentially means I get... because 5 experience is enough to get me both fire extinguishers. And then potentially get me 2 out of crossroads and a brute force. And I definitely need more ways to do damage that consistently. So as much as I really want to get rid of that weakness, I think I'm going to go Guild Hall for Moko. And there's no question Audrey's going to go... Audrey's just going to go Guild Hall. Go up to 11 experience. That's just amazing. What can I do with 11 experience? Studious is definitely what speaks to me right now. Yeah, Studious would be amazing. And kind of go from there. Alright, in any case, we go straight into supplies. This is similar to Forgotten Age. We have 2 investigators, so we get 5 supply points each. For those who visit the campsite, we get 4 additional. And then we don't have any tavern visits, and we did introduce ourselves to locals, so we do get 1 additional supply point. What you can get with supplies is you can get torches for 3, and there's 2 in stock, so you can only get 2. Food, which you can spend 1 for, which will get. There are 2 in stock based off investigators. Bandages, 1 that'll help with healing. There are 4 in stock. A lot of them is for sanity, and there are 4 in stock. So, yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Man, I really want to get rid of that self-destructive. But out of anyone, I think it's safest on Moko because of the self-resing. So I think I'll take what I can. Also, as always, I did resurrect once and I still didn't get my cards, but that's okay. Any case, as for the resources, I believe they're in here. Yep, dungeon supplies. So I'll go ahead and show these off. So food, we kind of saw some Mythos cards that did affect this, where you can spend supplies off of it, but you can also spend supplies to draw a card and gain a resource. And if it runs out of stuff, it just gets removed from the game. Torch, you can either reaction, use it to prevent the light from lowering from like the agenda advancing, or you can lightning bolt and put it in the victory display and raise it by 1. So this is the way you can get above 3. But doing so would put it in the victory display, which actually reduces your experience gain. So usually I just use this to add to the doom clock, essentially. So I'm definitely going to buy 1 of each of these. Obviously, we're going to get food. All right. So food for you, torch for you. Food for you, torch for you. And then that leaves 1 supply for Moko and 2 supplies for, well, 2 supplies for 1 person and 1 supply for the other. I'm going to take a lot of them for Moko. And I'm going to take bandages and a lot of them for that. Also, I want to make sure I did something right. Yeah, just for 2 random basic weaknesses. Okay. I was wondering if it had to be a madness or something. Okay. Now I can spend XP. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll go Fire Extinguisher. So there's a level 3 version, which is the one we want. This one gives you +1 fight, +1 damage just for fighting. It's one-handed, cost 2, commits for 2 foot. And you can action discard it to automatically evade all enemies engaged with you. You can also exile it, which means you have to repurchase it if you want it back, where you can discard every non-elite enemy. So very powerful. I'm going to get 2 of those. I'm going to go ahead and grab at a cross. Sorry about that. I started coughing and choking and all that good stuff. So yeah, 6 experience for the fire extinguishers. And then I'm going to get at a crossroads, which is a dilemma. I don't know if this is our first time messing with dilemmas, so I'll just talk about it. When you draw these, you have to immediately reveal them and resolve the revelation effect unless you've reached the cap. And they essentially do something fancy, but they usually have a catch with them. At the crossroads is probably the softest as far as the catches is concerned. You choose any investigator, doesn't matter if they're at your location or not, and then that investigator gets to choose an option. They can either immediately take an action, as if it was their turn, and then discard a card at random, or they can lose an action on their next turn and draw 3 cards. So this essentially just gets you an action for draw 3 cards, which is pretty good for Survivor. Each of these cost 1, so I'm at 8, and then I do have access to Guardian 0 to 3 events and skill splash. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Sweeping Kick, one which we're already well familiar with. All right. So with that in mind, we're going to tag out the Derringers for that. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Derringer. So that's for the fire extinguishers. I'm going to replace the Take Hearts with At a Crossroads. And then for the Sweeping Kick, I think I'm going to drop the Dodge. for now. Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. So yeah, my weapons are now all melee, but that's completely fine by me. And that should put us at 32 cards. I still haven't upgraded Pete, but that's okay. He's still doing his job. Okay, 32 cards, because we now have an additional weakness. Alright, everything's good there. Alright, over here we have 11 skill points. We're spending 6 of it on Studious. I definitely want those extra cards to start with and mulligan with. Anything that can maximize my chances of starting with either Research Librarian or a Necronomicon is a good start, especially if I have those sleight of hands and all that. So that's 6 experience. I'm going to spend 4 to go ahead and upgrade my perceptions. So my last attempt at this, I did upgrade deduction first, because you may have noticed there's a lot of locations that have 4 clues on them. And deduction can help mitigate the compression there. But I think I want just as much card draw as possible for Audrey. Not only for the Pen of the Queen, but also for getting everything for the Necronomicon. And then I went ahead and I do have Rogue 0-2 Splash, so I'm going to go ahead and replace one of my plan of actions with a Savant, which will get me extra icons based off my lowest skill. So this thing is just guaranteed to provide me +3, which is better than a plan of action at this point. Plan of action is okay as far if you're trying to go for the card draw, but honestly, you should be replacing it. The only thing that sucks about Savant, though, is it's innate and not practice. So I can't get it with practice makes perfect. All right, so with all that, we're just replacing 3 of our cards this time. And we have 36 cards because we have all those story cards in there now. All right, so there's our Studiouses, which means we'll start with 7 cards in our hand next time. I mean, my other option is I could have, upgraded my deductions and gone all in on that stuff, but like I said, that starting with 7 cards in your hand is really strong, and at this point, we kind of have what we need. So with that, we have 0 experience left, and we are good to go into Scenario 3, Blind Leading the Blind, which will be another delve into the depths. Alright, I am the Depressed Hero. This was Arkham Horror the card game, playing Darkham Horror. We did the study of life. If I made any rules mistakes, I apologize. This is a lot to keep up with, and I'm playing with custom investigators that I don't usually play with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, because I will hopefully try to get through as much of this as possible without Audrey dying. So, see you guys next time.